The Liver King has been on the hot seat lately due to some emails that were leaked, essentially exposing him for taking over $15,000 worth of steroids a month. And like your typical social media influencer, he has now come out and apologized and admitted that, in fact, he is on the juice. Obviously, the apology video was very weird, but thanks to YouTube, we have a perfect example of two complete different takes. One comes from Joe Rogan and Derek, who is the actual guy that exposed the Liver King. And on the other hand, we have Brendan Schaub. If you're familiar with Brendan Schaub, then you know where this is going. Because for some reason, Brendan Schaub decided to defend the Liver King with the worst points and takes during an awful debate with Bryan Callen. It was definitely hard to watch, so I'll break it down in sections and talk about some things that I completely disagree with, and we'll compare them to what Joe Rogan said. And before we continue, if you can do me a huge favor, hit the like button, subscribe to the channel. It helps out a ton, and we are trying to get to 20,000 subscribers, and we are very, very close, so I really appreciate that. Thank you.
But when you look at his body, no one was under the illusion. If you're now like, what? Then come on, you're a silly goose.
And I got news for you, Liberace was gay. So
yeah,
also
exactly.
Yeah,
like,
yeah, and
what are we talking
Adam
about?
Levine likes other women. So the thing is with Liver King, like
Adam what?
Adam Levine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The singer.
Yeah, he loves chicks.
Yeah, I mean.
Yeah, he's a rock star. Anyway,
right.
Dime piece. Anyway,
right.
But it's nothing like when that came out, everyone's like, I can't believe it. I'm like, oh wow, I didn't realize how stupid people were.
I mean,
so even with him, it's like when Liver King came on here, if off the bat you're like, come on, dude, but you're on steroids, right? Now he's notoriously, I mean, he's denied it.
But he also talked about it. Like, wasn't it? Who said? Was it Logan Paul who said, Why don't you talk about your steroid use? Somebody said.
Bradley Martin, I think.
Bradley Martin said what?
Bradley Martin, because I was talking to Bradley yesterday, because Bradley's in the community. He's like, I don't get why people are surprised. He kind of like. Kind of alluded to it on my pod.
Yeah.
It's basically like, you know, kind of was like, but here's my thing with all this. Like, A, if you're surprised, you're just kind of a dumbass. Like, there's so many sheep out there where if you really thought he was on steroids, and then B, I don't really care because his message overall, his message is health.
Brendan Schaub and Bryan Callen saying that if you are surprised that the Liver King is actually on steroids, it means that you deserve it, is the dumbest take I've ever heard. Now, this is anecdotal evidence, but I personally know a lot of adults that have no clue about what the juice can do, about what steroids can do, and they have no clue how to spot somebody that is on them or not. It's very simple. Joe Rogan and Derek were actually talking about two brothers that are huge in the fitness space, that they were actually fooled by the Liver King because the Liver King told them to their face in person, in a private conversation, that he was all natural.
And I don't know, I think most people could see through it, but at the same time, he would, like, there was a lot of big names that even reached out to me after the video came out, and they were like, you know, I didn't think he was natural, but this guy literally right to my face would say, like, blatantly, I am natural. And like a lot of people will take a guy at his word when it's like a private conversation. And if he's straight up telling you in person, yeah, it's actually legit, I'm natural. And he was just lying out through his fucking teeth, seemingly.
Now, here's a problem with Brendan Schaub's perspective. And I'm actually surprised that he doesn't understand this because I figured it's business 101. Here's the thing. Even Brendan Schaub's idol, Joe Rogan, would not touch the Liver King with a 10-foot pole. He would not have him on the podcast, and he's definitely not going to have him on.
But they're just employees. Yeah. One of them came up to me in Vegas.
Oh, really?
Yeah, one of my security guards stopped him. He was like, I'm a producer for the Liver King. I'm like, what the fuck do you produce? What are you producing?
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised.
It's not a movie.
Like, how many UFC events did he try and kind of like cozy up?
He was front row at one of my shows in Vegas.
Oh, damn.
At the MGM. Yeah, and then I saw him again at the Canelo fight. He was trying really hard to get on the podcast, and he's been trying really hard to get on now. He contacted a few friends of mine, and some of them that have, like Bert Kreischer, that had him on the show.
Yeah, he told me he's trying to get on.
Yeah, for what? For what? Say that more? Like, come on, this is dumb, man. This is a fucking, you ran a con game and you got busted.
Yeah.
And it's unfortunate that you feel terrible. I'm sorry you feel bad, because that's just what happens when you get caught lying. But you didn't have to lie.
Yeah, like I don't even see how bad it would have been if from the get-go he was like, it's not the
I'm on
healthiest.
hormone replacement.
Yeah, but like I understand the not wanting to talk about the other shit because he was on Winstrol, Deca, high amounts of GH, etc., which is not ancestrally consistent, but neither is HRT because it's like, well,
right.
if your diet was so dialed, like, why is it that you don't have like adequate testicular function or adequate hormone output or this or that? And it's just like, I guess it kind of just like spit in the face of his message too much that he couldn't wrap his head around justifying coming out and saying, I'm on HRT. But
on the other hand, Brendan Schaub and also Bert definitely did not care that he was completely unethical and just lying. They just wanted the views, the clout, and just followed along with the joke. But okay, let's use an example that Brendan Schaub could potentially understand. Let's say that Brendan Schaub pitched the old show, King and the Sting, with Theo Von as a show that was never pre-written. They never talked about what was going to be said on the show. It was just two boys coming into the studio and riffing off the dome. Let's say he claimed that, okay? And then something came out that proved that they were completely lying, and in fact, the show was scripted, or at the very least, was actually pre-planned. Well, in this case, it wouldn't discredit everything that Brendan Schaub and Theo Von had ever done in the past, but it would simply just hurt their credibility, because why would you lie? The only reason why people lie, like the Liver King, why anybody lies about something is because they care about what people might think of them. Think about it. Why would the Liver King lie about being natural when he's clearly not? Because he is a phony and wanted to lie about it. Why would Brendan Schaub lie about a show that he does being completely off the dome, meaning he is joking and just spitting punchlines off the dome when he is not?
So if you could please go back to his website, Jen, that's why I want it up. So his message is health, and you look at cold plunges, the cold tub. He talks about sleep, eat, move, shield, connect, cold, sun, fight, bond. So the message is so positive. To me, that outshines anything. Of course he's on. And I hate to tell you guys, whether it's Joe Weider, Arnold Schwarzenegger, whatever book that you got as a kid or whoever you looked up to, they were on. It doesn't mean they're bad people. It doesn't mean they're cheating the system. And also you got to realize that Liver King was, and it is what it is, was gifted with a foundation where he's genetically gifted. So this stuff obviously enhances that. But people have it confused where if they take steroids, they think they're going to look like Liver King or Arnold Schwarzenegger.
You got to work your ass
You can
off.
take all the stuff you want. If you don't have an insane work ethic, it does not matter. So to me, when Liver King came in here, assume he's taking, but don't care. But I assume the reason he's successful is because of his discipline, and he does live that lifestyle. Whether or not he's taking steroids, it does not take away from his message.
It's also unbelievable how year after year Brendan Schaub continues to do the things that people hate him for. He has an obvious unhealthy pattern of just stating things that he has no clue about, stating them as if they're facts, and actually saying, hey, no, B, I know for sure, for a fact that this happened, and then right after just being completely proven wrong. Thankfully, at the very least, Bryan Callen was there to push back a little bit and say, you know what, the reason why people are mad is because the Liver King, in fact, did imply, if he didn't say word for word, which is what Brendan Schaub is saying, he very strongly implied that if you do what he does or buy the products that he sells, you will look like him.
So this is part of my take. Liver King admits to taking PDs on part of my take, and that was
But no, so he made a joke about it. It was like performing endurance and something like he made it become a different.
Does Bradley Martin claim that he admitted it on his show or alluded to it? I'd love to see the actual clip because
that's what Bradley told me. That I was talking to Bradley last night. I go, dude, how about Liver King?
I'm saying I'd love to see.
Yeah, I mean, too. I would too. I've never seen it.
I don't believe him.
Yeah, I don't know. I would look it up.
I saw it.
You saw it too? Because I asked him. I go,
Well, you saw the interview.
I said, did you clip it out?
Your idea of 10% and 90%. I have to challenge you a little bit. We talked about the truth. Why do you not tell people about your steroid usage?
This is a great question, right? Because of what it implies.
Okay.
Right? I think a better question really is, it's the same question, do you take things? Right? But my answer has been the same because I've always told the truth. And you can say or think whatever you want.
Of course.
Right? But at the end of the day, like, this is what my message is really all about.
Yeah.
Is it's the 9 ancestral tenets. And did you know 50 years ago, we had on average 50% higher testosterone?
Yeah.
So if you just think about that, right, we could probably go 50 to 100% higher just by doing the 9 ancestral tenets.
We're back to normal.
Isn't that what most people do with steroids? They try and do steroids to increase their testosterone by 50 to 100%?
For the most part.
Well, and so I don't know exactly what the numbers are, but what I'll say is this: like if somebody has, let's say, 700, testosterone, free testosterone,
That's high.
and if they're taking steroids and they want to get up to 1,400 or 1,500 or whatever,
Insanely high.
guess what? You can do the same thing with the 9 ancestral tenets.
No, you can't.
And if you do the 9 ancestral
You might be able to.
This is where he gets in trouble.
over this,
I don't know if he can say no.
No, hold on.
you're
Keep going, or
No, that's
See,
where,
but,
that's where
but here's the
I'm
thing.
missing the admission.
Well, he
Hold on,
went.
hold on.
People ask,
Said
I
I've
take
always told the
stuff.
truth.
Hold on, guys.
And
That's a lie. Hold on. What he just did there was he said, hold on. He said,
Oh, he did on Bert's show too.
he said, that's a great question. At the end of the day, if you have 700 testosterone, and you want to bring it to 1,400, you can do that with the 9 ancestral.
That'd be
tenets.
tough.
That's not true,
That'd
and
be
you
tough.
can't.
That'd be
And
tough.
so what he's doing is he's not answering the question, and he's saying, do what I'm selling, and you don't need steroids. So I can understand why people are. I'm sorry.
Is that not a positive message, Ob?
Yeah, it's.
Would you have rather them wet?
it's-
Would it be easier if you
it's-
took
It's a
steroids?
little snake oil. It's a little snake oily, Bubba.
Also, he didn't admit it.
It's a little snake
He
oil.
admitted it on my show. I'm like,
And
no, he didn't.
and I can see why people.
Now go.
Are not
Did
defending.
you do it on? Yeah, it's gonna be tough to do.
Well, you can't look.
I'm not
Bubba.
defending that he
If
didn't
you
take
did that,
steroids.
or if I did that, you'd call me and go, "Hey, what the fuck are you doing?"
No, I
True or
wouldn't.
false?
You know, I don't give a
No, but you do because at
No,
the end of the day,
I would say B. Here's what I'm not defending the fact that he took steroids. I knew from the second.
but
he-
that was
B,
that
I'm
question.
Saying, I'm saying from the second he walked in this door, I went, oh, he's definitely on shit.
that was a lie.
Before I
though.
see him.
That was a lie, Bubba. I can't let him slide on that.
ridiculous accusations.
That was a lie.
Let me see this.
What he said
This is Bert's.
If you do the 9
Here we go.
ancestral
40,
tenets.
47 seconds.
hold on.
But here's why that doesn't bother me, B.
It bothers me because
It
he's
does.
selling.
It doesn't be. Name somebody that has a product in the supplement space that's told you the truth.
That's
go.
why supplements
go.
are dirty business. That doesn't mean it's right.
Here's where things get interesting. On the podcast, Joe Rogan mentioned that the Liver King had been trying very, very hard to get on the show, even going as far as being front row at one of his comedy shows and having one of his producers try to approach Joe Rogan, only to be stopped by his security. Well, Rogan also said that the Liver King had been trying to get on by asking friends like Bert Kreischer, who had him on his podcast. Now, this is a minor detail, but why didn't he also mention Brendan Schaub? Because he had him on. He had the Liver King on, I think, prior to Bert's episode dropping, I believe. I could be wrong. The point is, I believe Rogan was annoyed at Brendan Schaub for trying to actually get the Liver King on, because unlike Bert Kreischer, there is a chance that Bert was just like, hey, Rogan, this guy wants to come on. What do you think? In Brendan Schaub's case, I think it was more of like, hey, I really think you should have this guy on. Rogan said it best. For what? There is no reason why he should have him on. And the fact that Brendan Schaub is simping over him is insane. I still find it so hard to believe why he is doing this.
I think maybe that's why I have a soft spot for the Liver King, because I've been gym since I was, I don't know, 4th grade, and I know how hard that dude's work, even with or without steroids, to get to that, and that discipline it takes. It's tough.
Well, it's a bodybuilder thing. Guys were
It's
like,
tough.
guys think, well, I could. Well, it was like Equus. What was that documentary? He took all this everything with a Russian scientist. He was a biker and still couldn't come close. So a lot of it is, how good of an athlete are you? You're not gonna.
And most people you walk on the street past, you have no idea they're on steroids. Because I've met so many guys who are like, they tell me what they're on, and I'm like, oh, it's just, you must have been so much skinnier, or you're not using it right. But
Oh, I
They
go,
look so
tell me what you're
goddamn
on so I
good.
know what not to take.
Yeah,
you
or-
look
or
terrible.
sometimes they look fantastic. Sometimes you're like, you look so
Hey, but B,
fucking good.
this is my, and again, I'm not defending, I'm just saying this is the society we live in. Name something that you see that's not artificial.
Either he is a huge investor in the supplement company, or maybe he thinks that the Liver King will use them as like an official platform to come out clean. Or maybe he thinks that he can get on with the Liver King and Joe Rogan. I don't know. I just find it so hard to believe. I mean, the Liver King episode was the last successful podcast from The Fighter and the Kid. And thinking about it, the Liver King actually speedran through the influencer cycle. It's only been about a year and he already has a horrible YouTube apology video. I don't know what it is about those apology videos, but they always nail down the typical douchebag point. They never expected to be that famous and that successful to where everybody is now paying attention to them. They were also rich before, and now they are massively richer. And they are also doing it for the kids and the people that are hurting. So I feel like that is very common, a very common apology, and Joe Rogan nailed it best.
You know what the problem is? Sometimes people don't hang out with people that are smarter than them. And you think you're the smartest person, or maybe because he's running this company, people have to listen to him. So he's got this distorted perception of his ability to communicate and his ability to, convince people. That was so theatrical and so corny.
I don't know how, what kind of thought process went into there was some sort of ROI calculation on if I lie, what is the probability I get outed versus how viral can I go if I lie from the get-go versus, I just don't know how his team, especially with the information out there, thought that it was going to be a net win where it's probably never going to come out.
Does he have it?
It is probably a situation where the Liver King is obviously the most successful person in his circle. I do believe that. And nobody can tell him wrong. Nobody can ever tell him when he's making a bad decision or when he should stop. Clearly, that apology video, although it is an apology video, it's a weird one because is he really sorry and embarrassed that he did what he did, or is he just sorry and embarrassed that he got caught? And here's the thing. I don't know if Brendan Schaub is doing this on purpose to try and be the contrarian in this situation, or if he actually believes what he's saying, because if he does, I feel like it's career altering, don't you think? I mean, he already doesn't have the best reputation online, and saying stuff like that, I feel like just deeply hurts his credibility. There is already a lot of video evidence of him being completely wrong and having the worst takes when it comes to sports. When it comes to fighting and combat sport, like the Mayweather and the Conor thing, which he now says that he was paid to say the Conor had a chance. Very convenient, right? Now, he used to be a fighter. He should be a professional when it comes to that kind of stuff. Now, when he says things like that and actually defends the Liver King for being unethical and lying about his business, it's not the best look for you. I don't know. I think this is a huge L for Brendan Schaub. I usually don't have any strong opinions on him because most of the things he does, it's just funny to hate on and stuff like that. But in this case, you're talking about business ethics. You're talking about business 101. You have a business, you sell alcohol, because if he approaches his alcohol business the same way that the Liver King approached his protein or supplement business, I wouldn't be surprised if all Brendan Schaub was drinking on his show was just water with something to make people think that he is actually drinking at 8 in the morning and he is successful. Therefore, why don't you drink at 8 in the morning? I mean, he can do it. You probably could too. Obviously, that one is pure speculation, just my thoughts, but I think it's a good point. So
I didn't say that.
No, but you said he's lying to say that lifestyle's
Saying when you said
He's not saying that's the only thing that got him there.
Listen, there is he's making a lot of money selling his formula. That is the 9 ancestral tenets and all those supplements.
Good message. Good supplements.
Maybe not. I don't know about supplements.
I've used the supplements. I'm telling you, good supplements. I know supplements.
Yeah, well,
good supplements.
Okay. You can keep defending him. What I'm trying to tell you is this.
I'm defending his program, not him doing steroids.
But you still have to look at the fact that he is saying and suggesting that what got him there and what can get you there, and that is what he's saying.
But get where though, B? But get where?
To be looking essentially like this.
He's never said you're going to look exactly like me.
Exactly what's implied.
Oh man, I disagree.
And so he's saying essentially, if you look at that, then you can get your testosterone from 700 to 1400 using the 9 ancestral tenets.
Yeah, if I was him, I wouldn't use the numbers. Yeah, if that's where he fucked up, I wouldn't use numbers.
Yeah, but
you could say it raises your testosterone, which is true.
Okay.
Let me know what you think in the comments below. I do think this is a very interesting topic because I saw the Liver King go from one viral video of him pulling a sled with a bunch of weights to now claiming that he makes $100 million a month from his supplement business. Like him or hate him, it's a good business case study. And now with the information we have now, it is the perfect case study. Literally, I think everyone should study what he did, see where he went wrong, what he could have done better, maybe replicate his social media strategy, which is, I mean, pretty legit if you ask me. If it wasn't for the complete lying, I would still have complete respect for the Liver King. Whatever, people got to do what they got to do. But when you start, hurting other people and you are in business, I feel like people should have no empathy for you, because as corny as this may sound, with great power comes great responsibility. And it's true. You want to be rich and have a lot of influence, walk around with no shirt and super ripped abs that you could wash clothes on. You got to have some responsibility. But again, I'm pretty sure you can write something down in the comments about what you think about the situation. Is Brendan Schaub wrong? Am I wrong? I could be wrong. Let me know what you think. Like the video, subscribe to the channel. We are so close to 20,000 subscribers. It's been taking a little bit more than a month to get there, but we are so close. So please leave a like, subscribe to the channel, dislike if you didn't like the video. This was all for fun. I hope you guys are having amazing holidays, but that's all we have for today. See ya.